Hey, Byron, can you just talk about what it's been like for you working with Bruce and how he has helped your development, what he's like as a boss, as a mentor, and what he's like personality-wise as well?
I mean, he's as good as it comes personality wise. As far as the mentor things, especially with the football, our relationship started a long time ago, really, when I was a player. So these are the type of conversations that we always had. We always had big time football conversations. And that's pretty much what it is. It's the same thing. He talks a lot about details, really about details. I've heard him as a coach when I was a player. Same thing now, just he's always preaching on details, but he really lets you go. He lets you go. He lets you grow. He lets you learn. And then he'll see a thing here and there and say, hey, maybe you should think of doing this and this and this because this happened to me in 19 whenever, right? At any point. And he'll go back like that and he'll teach you through those type of moments. But the best thing about it, he lets you grow. He lets you go and see it the way that you see it and do the things that you like to do from a schematic standpoint. So it's just great to have a type of person like that, to have him. Also got Coach Moore. I got great offensive minds in the building every day that I can bounce stuff off if needed.
All right. We will go over to Cassidy Wood. Cassidy?
You got me?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Hey, Coach Leftwich. So I'm actually a reporter out here in Charleston, Huntington, West Virginia. And so I'm asking one for our viewers out here, one for the people. Going back a little bit, how did playing at Marshall help build a solid foundation for your NFL career and ultimately leading you here coaching in Super Bowl 55?
Well, one of the best things that ever happened to me at Marshall was the time that I went to Marshall. It was really before all the college football started just going really fast and just like holding cards up to teach the play and all that, So we had to learn it differently. We had the game was played differently during those times. Even though at Marshall we was a pass-oriented system and a pass-oriented team, we had to know what all those spots were on defense. We couldn't just go fast. So we had to slow down. I learned a lot of football being there at Marshall, and I also had Chad Pennington there. So I had the guy who they was calling the best quarterback in college football. I had the opportunity to learn from, to learn how to play the position, to learn how to have awareness and understanding of where everyone needs to be and where the defenders won't be. So it was a blessing for me of how we learned football during those times at Marshall. It was old school, one-on-one football that you had to learn and had to understand to even give yourself a chance to have any sort of success.
We'll go over to Therese Paylor.
Oh. Hey, Byron, how you doing today, man?
How you doing?
Great. Hey, look, kind of piggybacking on Mike's question. Curious, what's it been like working with Tom Brady? He's an accomplished guy that you guys go back a ways a little bit. You played it around the same time. Just what's it been like working with Tom on a day-to-day basis as far as formulating the game plan? And also have a quick follow-up for you after their answer.
Well, it's exciting really to work with, the guy that they call the best to ever, play his position. Obviously he's very aware. He's a smart football player. He's been in every situation. And, I get an opportunity to work with him after he's already done 20 years of this, right? So it's been kind of fun to just learn from him, him to learn from me. What's been the most amazing thing about this whole thing is that the way his approach of it, he came in and he's told me from day one, just coach me, let me know what you want. Obviously, we work together from a game plan standpoint, but he's really a guy that I'm going to go out and execute this play regardless of what you call at a high level. And let's just try to play our best football, execute at a high level. Kind of what I was saying earlier about he learned the game the old school way too. So he's not a young guy that's really just been going fast. He's a guy that's been around a lot of different types of football. We were just talking about like back in the day, if you had 26 attempts and 204 yards, that was a huge day most Sundays. That was a huge day most Sundays when I first got into the league. And when he first got into the league, and we just amazed at how much the game has changed in that time.
Yeah, I hear you. Have you found that, Tom wants hard coaching, number one, and two, can you kind of give us a little bit of an idea how the game plans come together? Because you got a guy like Brady, I'm sure he'll have some input, but I also know he wants hard coaching. So whatever light you could shed there would be great, man.
Oh, yeah, he want to be coached hard. He want to be coached. He wants you to let him know when he's not doing the right things. And, that's the easy part for me, because you want to help. You want to put the player in the best position to have success. And if you don't coach guys like this want you to give them information and to help them be the best football players they can be. So they're never afraid of hard coaching. That's the easy part for them. And as far as the game plan, it's me and him find a way to put it together week in and week out. It was tougher earlier because we didn't have an opportunity to go through a lot of these things that we normally would have got through with no off season. But we got halfway through the year. I think we learned each other, and us ability to learn each other has put us in position to play in this game here. I think I got a great understanding of who he is, the way he's going to see every concept now, and the way that he's going to see the guys that's out there with him on the field at the time that we're trying to execute that play. So I think we got a good understanding of each other, which has allowed us to always be in a positive from a play standpoint.
All right, we're going to go over to Gene Fournette.
What's up, Byron?
Hey, what's up?
I'm very curious. A couple questions for you. What were you doing between the time you retired from football and before you joined Bruce as an intern in Arizona? Were you just enjoying the leisure of retirement, playing some golf? What were you doing during that 3-4 year period?
I was enjoying time being a civilian. I just, it was initially it's fun. It's great, because you've been in the meeting room for, man, I don't know how many years, you've been in the meeting room. So initially it was great because I played, like you say, I played golf a lot, had a 7:45 tee time every morning. But what happened is the winter would come. The winter would come being in D.C. and it just was no more golf to play. And that's where you kind of got bored.
Where did you play at? What golf course?
A couple places up there. I don't want to say no names because I said it before and a couple people showed up. But, it's a few places that I play up there that I love to play. I was playing every day. So I was playing every day, Monday through Thursday, just trying to work on my game. I really turned golf into football. I didn't have no structure other than golf. So I went at golf. I approached golf like I would approach the game of football. Got pretty good at it, and then decided to get into coaching and understand coaching and playing golf does not go together.
What did your handicap get down to?
I got down to like a 6. Got down to a 6. I was playing really good golf though, but I'll take that. I'll be a 6. I'll take the 6. I'll take that any day of the week because I can turn that into whatever. Just never know what I can do within the round of golf.
All right, we're going to go over to Sarah Walsh.
Hey, Byron. If someone told you on February 1st of last year, I don't know where you were at that time, a year from now, you're going to have Tom Brady, you're going to have Rob Gronkowski, you're going to have Leonard Fournette, and you're going to be sitting here talking to the media because you're playing in the Super Bowl Sunday, what would you say?
I wouldn't be as shocked as people would think. I'm not really shocked that we're here in this game, to be honest with you. I think we had a good football team last year, a young football team that was learning how to win. I remember telling my offensive staff and just at the end of the year last year, looking at all the free agents that were coming out. And I remember telling myself, if I'm a free agent quarterback, I'm coming to Tampa. I remember saying, I'm coming to Tampa just to see the players that we had here. And I know the perspective of, the Buccaneers and all those things. But as a quarterback, you watched the tape, you cut the tape on, you saw the talent that we had, especially with the guys that were free agent quarterbacks. The guys that were free agent quarterbacks coming up, I just knew that this would be a nice spot. I wouldn't say that I thought that, it would lead to the, ultimately being in the Super Bowl. I think once you get Tom Brady, that's automatically an an option, right? Because I mean, he's in it all the time. So we knew it was a possibility by having him. We knew we had to put the work in though to make sure we get here. We knew it wasn't going to be done by a bunch of talent. A bunch of talent don't get the job done. Guys pulling together, coming together, committing to each other. We knew that would be the way that we ultimately have an opportunity to play in this game, and guys done a good job of doing that all year long.
Go over to Adam Teicher from ESPN.
Hey, Byron, wanted to ask you about Tyrann Mathieu. As you know, the Chiefs line him up all over the place. You come across many players that are quite as versatile as he is, that can do as many things on defense as he can. And because of that, does Tom need to be any more aware of where he's lining up pre-snap than any other Chiefs player?
I mean, being with Ty in Arizona, I got so much respect for the human being, to be honest with you. Before I even get to the football player, the way he approaches, his leadership that he brings. I know how the guys in the locker room feel about him because I've seen him in the locker room. I know his commitment to the game. So before you even talk about the football player, you appreciate the leadership and the way that he carries himself on a football team. Then you cut the tape on, and then you see the plays that I've watched him make in Arizona. So we know what type of player Ty is. Ty is a great football player, great guy. Everyone would love to have guys like this on their team. I got so much respect for what he's about and his thoroughness and the way he go about the game of football. As a coach and as a player, you appreciate that. So we know how Ty feels and how he's going to approach this football game. We just got to make sure we're ready to play and make plays also. So, it's a great football player, man. He's a great football player. I've seen him have a lot of success in this league, and I see he's up there doing the same thing.
We'll go over to Jenna Lane. Jenna?
Hey, Coach. I'm just curious from your vantage point, because you were at this Super Bowl the last time it was in Tampa, and obviously the circumstances were so different with COVID-19. How has it been different for you guys, aside from the fact that you're sleeping in your own bed at night?
Well, the thing I think about the most, I wish that our guys can have the real experience of what it really is. Having the opportunity to go to 2 Super Bowls, just the experience is a little different this year. Obviously, we're doing it, through video. And so it's different than it's ever been before. But, these guys get an opportunity to have this version of it. I would love for them to have been different years, different circumstances, so they can truly experience it the way that I experienced it, because it's a unique thing. It's a thing you should enjoy. You put in a lot of work to get this far, and to have an opportunity to play in this games. If you're one of the last 2 teams to play in this game, this is the time to enjoy it. This is the time to let the world know who you are as a player and all the questions that come with it. They're all fun. And I wish they could truly experience it the way that I experienced it in the past, but I think this would do for the guys.
We'll go over to Adam Kilgore.
Byron, during those days when you were golfing and your civilian lifestyle you were talking about, was coaching in the back of your mind? Was that something that you were thinking about even when you were a player maybe? Or like, when did you sort of start thinking that you'd want to become a coach?
Well, BA always wanted me to coach. BA always wanted me to coach, and it was just something I just wasn't ready to do. I needed to get away. I needed to see what the rest of the world was about. I mean, you got to understand, you're in team meetings and in football meetings for almost all my life. So it was an opportunity to really just be a civilian. Like I say, just be a civilian. Now, during the process, I always talked football. Football is my life. Anybody that know me know how I feel about football. Me and BA would talk. I would tell him what I would see, like really through the TV, because I had no understanding of what he was doing from a game planning standpoint. I just knew him, and I could see it through TV. So it was those type of things. I've always continuously talked football, though, talking to former players, talking to players that were still playing. We're having an opportunity to talk to Ben, watch like the Steelers play, and talk to Ben about certain things. So I never really got away from football. I just was Not in the meetings. Not in the meetings. I just had an opportunity to heal up and rest and get your body to feel great. So other than, I wasn't really that far away from football, even though I wasn't in meetings and everything, because I still had communication with a bunch of guys that were still in the league.
We'll go to Ryan Dunleavy.
Hey, Byron, you hear me?
Yes.
Thanks. What does no risk it, no biscuit mean to you? And how different is that than what other coaches preach?
Well, BA has no risk it, no biscuit. I know what it means for him. I know what it means for me. It means the same thing for us. We just do it a little differently. It's really just attack. Put yourself in the best position to play, be aggressive. This is an aggressive league. This league is about scoring. This ain't the same league where you ran the ball and got 2 yards here on first down. This is a different league, and the slogan fits perfect for the way that football is being played now. I mean, to give yourself an opportunity, to give your players the best opportunity to win, put them in position to win. And we just so happen to have players at the skill position that's able to get at people downfield, get at people short, medium, long. We're just trying to get the ball to the open guy and make them defend the whole football field. So that's my interpretation of it. No matter what, empty, like we say, make sure I have nothing left. Play your best, give all you got, attack, 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 and try to win the football game.
We'll go to Rick Stroud. Rick? You can't hear you. Okay. We're going to go over to Lindsey Jones.
It says I'm muted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. It just told me the host muted me. My apologies there. Hi, Byron. I'm sorry if you got asked this earlier. I've been kind of Zoom hopping here amongst your coworkers here, but I was hoping, do you have much of a relationship with Eric Bieniemy? Do you know him through kind of coaching circles? And what does it mean to you that there's 2 Black offensive coordinators in this game, especially when diversity hiring has been such a major topic of conversation?
Well, obviously, I've been a big, huge football fan all my life. So I've been a huge fan since he was in college. You know what I mean? The world knew who he was. I didn't really meet him until I, was an adult really into coaching. But as a kid growing up watching football, it was hard not to notice him, especially with the college career that he had, his NFL career. So I knew of him. Had an opportunity to meet him as a coach. The fact that hopefully one day it's not such a big thing that 2, African-American offensive coordinators in the Super Bowl, but it is still right now. So it's something that we have to talk about, but all I know, he's a good dude. Every time I've been around him, and he understands the game well. Obviously he puts that team in position to have success week in and week out. Obviously I think of Andy, appreciate what Andy, like I appreciate BA, just having the opportunity to be around these type of guys who view these guys as the way that they view BA and Andy, they view these guys as offensive gurus, geniuses at what they do. So it's a blessing that me and him get an opportunity to learn from guys like that and get better ourselves. But he's been good to me as long as I've known him.
All right, we're going to go over to Rick Stroud again. Rick?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yay.
There you go, Rick.
I'm in it. Hey, Byron, along those lines, I mean, Bruce Arians said that he was ticked off. He used more colorful language, as you can imagine, that you did not get an interview this year. And we know what the only one African-American coach was hired. Were you upset about that? And why don't you think? I mean, all we ever heard was, hey, offensive play callers. That's what the league is looking for, right? And then here sits you and Eric.
I didn't really have an opinion of it, to be honest with you. That's not really why I do it. Me being a former player, I really want to help these players be the best football players they could be. I really want to put them in position so they can shine and be the best at whatever they want to be. As far as all the other stuff about getting interviews, I can't answer that question. There's no need to ask the people that's getting interviewed why they're not getting interviewed. I can't really answer that question. All we can do is try to do our job to the best of our ability. And the narrative may change time in and time out because, hey, it is what it is. We just got to make sure we just keep working, get better at what we do.
All right, we have time for a few more. We're going to go over to Scott Abraham.
Hey, Byron. This is Scott Abraham from ABC7 in Washington, D.C. Good to see you as always.
D.C., baby.
Good old DMV is going crazy about you. And you were obviously shaped as a player during your days at H.D. Woodson on the football fields across the DMV. But I'm wondering, kind of looking back now, how did those experiences shape your leadership qualities and maybe your coaching style that you kind of look back now and realize, maybe it all started on those fields in D.C.?
Oh, yes, that's definitely where it started. That's why everything I do, I got that city running through my blood. So everything I do, I know I got a lot of support back at home. I got a lot of guys pulling for me. And I try my best to set the best example I can set for the guys that's coming after me to have an opportunity, because I know very few people are here in this moment from where I'm from. So I try to represent that and always try to do right by that with the understanding of how far I came to get to this point. I love that city. It's home, and I just try to represent it in the best way I can. I know it's still a lot of people pulling for me. I get 200, 300 texts a game just back at home, people back at home, people who've coached me, people who've taught me, people who grew up with me. It's just big time support back at home. You gotta love it as just a human being. And I just try to rep it and try to stand tall for us as much as I can.
We'll go over to Martinzi Johnson.
Hi, Byron. Myself, again, I'm jumping off of Zoom, so apologies if you've been asked this already, but I had a question about Scotty Miller. Obviously, he's a fast guy. Hard work goes into that. You all's game planning goes into that, but the play at the end of the first half of the NFC Championship game kind of stands out because he kind of blows right past the defender. I was wondering, with plays like that, do you think any part of that goes down to the defender maybe not realizing or forgetting how fast Scotty actually is?
I don't really know, and I don't care really. I remember watching the tape of Scotty, and man, I loved it. Loved the tape. I remember being at his pro day, and I was hoping he'd run slow. I was just hoping. I was like, man, I was in the corner. I was like, I want him to run like a 4.41, because I knew if he runs as fast as I thought he would, that would open the eyes of a lot of people, because I didn't know if everybody saw the tape. So I was just thinking, man. And then when he ran like a 4.3 something, I was like, yes, that won't trigger anything. That won't trigger people to look this guy up and to see what he is. I think he's a great football player. I think he's been making plays like that all over tape his whole career, really. You cut the Bowling Green tape on, that's what you see. You see those type of plays. So as far as the play, I knew we had an opportunity the position he was in, the formation we was in, the time in the game that we was in, I knew we had an opportunity. And good thing Tom put a good ball up. He ran by the guy, and they made a great play right before the half.
We'll go over to Drew Lawrence.
Hi, Coach. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Coach, I just wanted to follow up on the coaching cycle question from earlier, and I just wondered, as a player in Jacksonville, when you were coming up, if you could ever imagine being on an NFL team that with a coaching staff that's inclusive and diverse as the one you're currently on.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been a part of anything like this. Yeah, this is unique. This is different. This is not the norm. This is not the norm of how this league and how the coaching staff looks across the league. It's a blessing that the BA has this view that he has. I just hope no one believes that he's just giving us anything. if you know him, you know he's not giving you anything. You got to earn everything that you pretty much get from him or his view of you. So nobody's been given anything. Everybody's earned this. Obviously, everyone's doing their job. The fact that we're here with the players, putting us in position to have an opportunity to win this football game. So to be in this type of game. So, I mean, it's just, I'm just happy that BA has the view of that he has, because hopefully more people are starting to see it, that just it should be about opportunity. It shouldn't really be about skin color. It should be about if you're capable of doing the job or gender. So it's just a blessing to work for some that have that type of perspective on teaching, because that's what we're really talking about. We're really talking about teaching. People make a big deal out of this thing. It's, coaching. We're really teaching. Our job is to really help these men, put them in position to play their best football that they can possibly play. And that's really our job. And that's really consistent teaching, not really coaching.
All right, that's all we have time for today. Thanks, Byron.
Okay, guys. Thanks.